When I work with organizations and even my students at Cal State Fullerton, I usually have them take my mindset assessment. This allows them to get results about the quality of their mindsets across 4 different sets of mindsets. I want to tell you a little bit about my students at Cal State Fullerton. So they take this assessment and they get their results back. And my students are consistently really low in one of the 4 mindsets. They really struggle with having an inward mindset as opposed to an outward mindset. Now, let me share how this plays out. First, let's define these mindsets. When we have an inward mindset, we see ourselves as more important than others. This makes us prone to see others as objects. When we have an outward mindset, we see others as being just as important as ourselves. This allows us to see them as people of value. Well, how does this play out for my college students? Well, every semester I put my students into teams of 5. And what this means statistically is that because they struggle so much with an inward mindset, that 3 or 4 of the students that go into a team, they have an inward mindset. That means they approach the team essentially wired to ask the question, how are you going to help me be successful? And that's a very different approach than only the 1 or 2 students with an outward mindset, who their natural wiring is to approach that team thinking, how can I help you and the team be successful? How we approach the people that we work with shapes everything. Let me give you even a personal example. Honestly, this is the mindset set that I struggle with the most. One of the ways that I've seen this play out in my life, and it's one that I regret, but for most of my adult life, when I would see a homeless person, I would be quick to become critical of them. Honestly, because I saw myself as being more important than them. So when they would ask me for money or for assistance, I would kind of think, why are you asking me for my hard-earned money and you're just standing here asking for help? That was just naturally where my mind went. It was because of my inward mindset. Come to learn that isn't the best mindset, and I've come to shift my mindset. So one of the ways that this is shifted is when I recognize that this person without a home, is just as important as I am. When I see them asking for help, it makes me wonder, what in the world has happened in their life that has led them to believe that this is the best way to live? And if I had had to live through what they have lived through, would I be in a similar position? Quite possibly. So now when I see these individuals asking for help, I believe I don't approach them with the criticality that I used to. I now approach them with greater empathy. Am I perfect in how I deal with those situations? No. I've got a lot of room to grow in terms of having an outward mindset. I imagine that you do too. This just comes down to, how do we see other people? To what degree do we value them? When we look at the greatest atrocities our world has seen, you look at things like slavery or different genocides, concentration camps. At a foundational level, those things happened because people had an inward mindset. They viewed others as objects as opposed to people. Something else I've learned about this set of mindsets is across the 4 mindsets that I focus on, this is the one that we move in and out of the most quickly. In one moment, we could be outward. The next moment, we could be cut off by another driver on the freeway and turn inward. Or we could get hungry. Now we get hangry. and now it's about us, and we're more important than others. But I hope just by becoming aware of these mindsets, you're able to ask yourself, in any given set of circumstance, am I being inward or am I being outward? Am I seeing others as people or am I seeing them as objects? The more in tune you can be with this, is the greater your ability to be a positive influence in the lives of others.